Kentucky can guard, and they can turn it up when they want to. And they outplayed us tonight. They played really well. Um, we knew their guards were excellent. And late in the game, when it came down to just getting decent shots and keeping us at bay, they were able to do that. Reeves has killed us every year. I think I talked about it the other day. He's just killed us. Big guard, able to make shots, um, you know, um, we held them to 70. They averaged 90, and so we played hard and made some, obviously made some plays defensively, but their ball pressure disrupted us. Our point guards didn't have an assist. And maybe just had one basket. And so their ball pressure from their guards really wouldn't allow us to get the ball in places on the floor that we kind of needed to be able to execute our offense or get the ball inside of Jalen Williams or get the ball inside of Janai Moore. So, I think that while I'm disappointed in the outcome, when you get outplayed, when somebody plays better than you, man, my hat's off to them, and that's why we didn't win.
All right, you had a question in the back from Tony?
Coach, I know it's kind of early on, but at this time, do we have any update as far as Jalen's injury?
Yeah, I mean, Jalen is arguably, he and Janai are two best players. And, we were in range when he got hurt. And we think he's got to have something. We think it's something, not just a bang. He had a pivot. So we'll do an MRI tomorrow, and then we'll take a look at it.
And then Matt can one in the front, and then we'll go with Mike on the left.
It's kind of, you mentioned some of just the guard defending. Obviously, you guys got in a lot of foul trouble, kind of with Donaldson, KD. How did you handle the rotation at that point when you got kind of limited in the guard?
Yeah, the rotation was all disrupted. It's partly disrupted because Denver and KD had been playing well. We're moving Denver, playing a little bit of point guard. We got in some foul trouble. We weren't playing great at the position, and so there was some disruption there.
All right, Mike?
Coach, only 11 minutes from Trey Donaldson tonight. You praised your point guards, but you had some different rotations out there.
Yeah.
Can you update us on Trey?
Well, I mean, he had 4 fouls, so he picked up his 4th foul early in the second half.
Kyle?
Bruce, how different did the Kentucky defense you saw today look than the film of Gonzaga?
Well, I thought they were more physical. I do. There were a couple of plays that I'm going to send into the league. They were real physical. But that's what happens. See, when what happens is, and I've seen this a couple times, when kids get challenged but not playing hard, not playing physically, well, then they go out there and they play hard, they play physically. And so,
All right, Berg, and then Matt, and then Joseph.
Bruce, did you feel like this was another one of those games where you guys were getting the looks you wanted, the shots you wanted, and they just weren't going down? Or
no, I'd give Kentucky more credit for that. I would give their defense more credit for that. Yes, we missed open shots. No, we didn't make many tough shots. Janai made some tough shots inside, but I thought we could have gotten better looks. We've been getting better looks. If you look at the South Carolina game, which is 2 completely different games. The offensive efficiency numbers in South Carolina is, record break. We basically came down and scored every time. We put the ball wherever we wanted, whenever we wanted, and did whatever we wanted. Kentucky disrupted us. Their length at the rim obviously disrupted us. Their ball pressure disrupted us. They had a good scout. So I really think you just go, all right, Kentucky guards like this, they can beat anybody. But we know that. Where are they ranked? They're a nationally ranked team. They're a 3 or 4 seed in the NCAA tournament. They played well. We didn't, and that's why we got beat.
Bruce, over here to your left, you had the dominant win over Alabama, and then you just had, what you just said against South Carolina. But in between those, you had the side swipe at Florida, now this one. The fact that you've had 2 losses, they're a little bit different, but you get the point I'm making here. Has this team been kind of cleansed of that, or is this a little bit worrying for you with all your experience as a head coach that you've seen 2 performances like this in a short period of time at this point in the season?
I mean, I'm not worried about it, but I think that you know how I felt about this team from the very beginning. I said, this is a good team with a chance to be a very good team. What they've shown is they're actually a very good team with a chance to maybe be a great team. We weren't very good tonight. And so, yeah, I mean, I kind of going in sort of expected to see this at times against the best teams in our schedule. I still like our team. I do. And we're going to have to, if Jalen's out, we're going to have to figure some things out. But I think we have guys that'll step up. But Jalen Williams he and Janiah Broom are our 2 best players. And so if he's out for a little while, that's got to be next man up. That's a significant loss.
Bruce, that was my question about Jay Will. Like, looking forward, how do you, I guess, account for his energy that he brings to the court?
Well, I mean, Jalen Williams is Auburn's all-time winningest player ever, and by a bunch of games, right? And he's having a phenomenal, senior season. And it's not like I'm not giving the scouting report away, but when Jalen Williams has played well, we've won. And he's only really not played well in about 4 or 5 games. Those happen to be the games we've lost. The math's kind of scary. So give Jalen Williams credit. But the depth on his team and the chemistry on his team, we'll put it together. We'll get something. We'll be ready for the next one.
And just to clarify, you said send something to the league. Do you feel that Jay
No,
Will is
there are a couple of
undercut
plays.
that?
There are definitely going to be a couple of plays that because, boy, I tell you, it happens in the heat of the battle. So you got to play hard.
And then, Coach, just kind of turning the page now, looking ahead to Athens next week, Georgia. Just kind of, how do you prepare your guys for that?
Well, listen, we play Georgia next Saturday. We got to bye this week, and we need to bye. Our kids, listen, our guys they've been grinding. I'm telling you, I'm so proud of them for, for the position that they're in right now. I really am. So we'll take a couple days off this week. We will, and they need it. They've earned it, and we'll see if we can, regroup a little bit. We need to get better guard play. I mean, it's clear we need to get better guard play, and we'll see if those guys we can all figure it out.
Matt, and then Ferg with the last question.
Just following up on that, this is kind of the first time you guys have really had a true, like, just demoralizing game just in this building, demoralizing injury.
This was not a demoralizing game. That was a good team that played a really good game. What's demoralizing about a loss to Kentucky when they play well? So I can't even begin to answer that.
Ferg, just go next.
Yeah, Bruce.
Do I look demoralized to you? Does anybody think I'm demoralized?
It's kind of a testament to where you guys are.
Yeah. No, the point is, and this is what I want you guys to understand. I mean, our guys have been achieving at a high level. I mean, they've been, and oh, by the way, it's funny. I looked at the schedule the other day, and we're playing South Carolina, and they're 20-3, and they've won 7 in a row. And I said to my son Stephen, I said, you know what? This might be the easiest game of the next 4. Looking at Kentucky here, even going to the road to Georgia, then going to Tennessee. And so for these kids to have grinded and be in the position, guys, come on, demoralized?
Ferg.
Bruce, you guys finished forcing more turnovers than they did, but there was a stretch there where you guys weren't able to capitalize
Yeah.
on the turnovers. Did you think that was a kind of a big difference, especially early on?
They don't turn it over. They turned it over 12 times, which is more than they usually do. We weren't real organized in some of our running and jumping. There were times late we probably should have doubled. We did it a couple times and turned them over, but they got pretty good guard play. They stopped running ball screen, and that was probably a good idea because we were just hitting them in the ball screen, double teaming the ball screen, and then they just started doing their other things and spreading the floor and spacing out and kind of attacking us one-on-one. And look, and Reeves kind of took over. Thiero really stepped up in a big way and outplayed us at his position. If you told me we're going to hold Kentucky to only 4 3-pointers, I said we're going to beat them. So give Kentucky credit for finding other ways to win. You know, they had an injury there to one of their kids, and they did a really good job of finding a way to win in another way.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thanks.